So May is the Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, and I think it's really fitting that Cindy of Read with Cindy decided to host the first ever Asian readathon in the month. And the prompts are simple, they're very short, because that's Cindy's style. She does not like stressing herself out or stressing us out, which is what I really love about her. And yeah, I had a lot of fun picking the prompts, and also because they came with a twist. Hello everybody, Noria back again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly read through all the prompts, and then I will go to the twist before I go back and then state which book I am going to be reading for each individual prompt. Let's get started, shall we? And yes, I ended up getting a new phone. It took me a while, but that 1 week without a phone was hell on earth. Okay, so I'll go straight to the prompts. The first prompt says, read any book by an Asian author. The second prompt says, read a graphic novel featuring an Asian character or written/drawn by an Asian author. Now, this can be a manga, a manhwa, comics, etc. The third prompt says, read a book featuring an intersectional Asian character or written by an intersectional Asian identity. So you're looking at maybe the character is queer, or the author is mixed, or the character is neurodiverse, or is disabled, etc. The fourth prompt says, read a book by an Asian author that was originally written in their native language. And the fifth one says, read the group book, 1,000 Beginnings and Endings by Ellen O. Now, the twist is that you can combine challenges and read them in any order. However, each book you read should feature a character or author or a different Asian identity. Now, this is to encourage cultural diversity, which I think makes so much sense, because a lot of the times when people are talking about Asians, they only have this monolithic view of Asians in mind. Like, all Asians are like, I don't know, they all belong to one country. Like, it's a pretty big continent, like vast type level of continent with different ethnicities, different populations, different cultural traditions and rules. So like, it just makes a lot of sense that there is that diversity, in a readathon that is Asian based. So I really love that. And she also does state that challenge 5, which is to read the group book, because the group book is a collection of short stories by authors of different ethnicities, does cover quite a lot of the challenges. So yes, now to talk about the individual books I chose for each challenge. So the first challenge says, read any book by an Asian author, and for that I am going with For Us of 1,000 Lanterns by Julie C. Dow. Now, this book, when I heard about it, I loved it. I was already in love, because this is an Asian retelling of Snow White and the Queen, told from the evil queen's perspective. And you all know how I love anti-heroes and my villains, so especially when you're giving my villains like really intense, deep, well thought out backstory, like I am in love. So the main character in this book, who is Zifeng, she's beautiful, she's gorgeous, and she's been told by her aunt, who is a witch, that she's destined for greatness, she's destined to rule, but she has to make a lot of sacrifices to get there, including turning down and turning away the love of the man she loves. And also, she has to give in to the dark powers that course through her veins by eating the heart of the freshly dead, which is the sacrifice the god she serves, the god that is going to put her on that track, wants from her. And I love that. I always love it when, the gods you're dealing with are not very benevolent. Like, they demand their toll. It's one of the things I really loved about the Poppy War, and I'm certain it's something else I would love in this book. And Julie C. Dow is Vietnamese. So the next prompt says, read a graphic novel featuring an Asian character or written/drawn by an Asian author. Now, like I said, this can be a manhwa, this can be a manga, this can be a manhwa, this can be comics, a graphic novel, etc. And I am going to be going with this manhwa that is Dice, the Cube That Changes Everything, written by Yoon Hyun Suk. Now, this The main protagonist of Dice is Dante, who is this boy who has been bullied in school. He's not popular, his classmates can't stand him, and so he has to deal with all of that from, his classmates. And he sits right beside another classmate, Tabin, who has it all: good looks, popularity, is great at everything, is great at sports, etc. And then one day, Tabin asks him, what if you can change your life? What if you can restart your life? What if it's all a game? And that is where Dice starts, because with Dice, with this game, you can actually play to acquire skills, play to become more popular, play to pick up a lot of things along the way, but it does not come without its dangers. And that is where the story starts. We're looking at, and the amazing thing about this manhwa is that it has everything. There's suspense, there's drama, there's romance, a slight bit of fantasy, and of course the old gaming aspect. And I can't wait. I've been wanting to read it forever, and this is a perfect time for me to start. Now, Dice is currently at chapter 277 chapters. Yes, it's currently still ongoing. I am not going to kid myself and believe that I'm going to finish everything in time for the month. But if I can at least get like 50 chapters or even 100 chapters read in the month, I would consider it a success. Besides, it's pretty short chapters, so who knows? I might just be able to finish it. I can't wait. Anyway, so the third prompt says, read a book featuring an intersectional Asian character or written by an intersectional Asian identity. Now, this can be a queer character, a mixed author, disabled character, neurodiverse, etc. Now, the book I'm going for is The Loves and Lives of Rukhsana Ali by Sabina Khan. Now, Rukhsana is a Bengali Muslim lesbian, yes, in that order, who has been basically keeping the fact that she's a lesbian like a secret from her family, because it's not something they'll be able to deal with. But then her mother walks in on her with her girlfriend and is outraged and sends her back to Bangladesh. Now Rukhsana was already planning on going to college because she knows that once she leaves the house, she'll be able to like live her life on her own terms. And then she shifts to Bangladesh, where she has to deal with family members who are harping on her case and want to convert her and all of that. And then she discovers a diary of her grandmother, and through the diary finds the strength to live her truth, to take a stand, but at the same time to do it with not losing the love of her family in mind. And I can't wait to read it. I have had this. It's one of my anticipated books of last year. If you saw my anticipated books of 2019 video, you will know that it is high on there, and I cannot wait to read it. Now, the thing about it is that I've not read it for a very long time, just because I've kept pushing it back, because I did hear Sajid, who read it, did mention that it has quite some very deep, slightly traumatic scenes. So I have been putting it off because of that, but I think I'm in the right headspace to read it now, and I cannot wait to read it. And I think reading it during the Asian Readathon is just perfect. Oh, I forgot to mention Yoon Hyun Suk, who wrote Dice, The Cube That Changes Everything, is Korean, and Sabina Khan, who wrote The Loves and Lives of Rukhsana Ali, is Bangladeshi. Now, the next prompt says, read a book by an Asian author that was originally written in their native language. And for that, I am going with my very first Murakami, Norwegian Wood, written by Haruki Murakami. Now, for those of you that are looking at the size and going like, what the fuck, Nori, I thought you were team. I do not do mass market paperback. Yes, I'm sorry. I went to the store because, like, if a store in Nigeria is going to carry the book, I'm going to buy it from the store. I don't want to order it from Amazon. So I went to the store, I picked up Norwegian Wood, and this was the only edition they had in the store. Like this. I was just like, why? Anyway, so Norwegian Wood is all about Toru, who is taking us on his life's journey, to show us how he fell in love with his first love, who is Naoki, except for the fact that Naoki is or was the girlfriend of his best friend, and to deal with the loss of, he can't be with her because she's in love with his best friend and his best friend loves her back. To deal with that, he loses himself in casual sex, in passion, and of course the friendship, the uneasy friendship, because he is in love with his best friend's girlfriend after all. And he's dealing with all of this when Midori breezes into his life. Now, at that point, that is a girl that intrigues him, and he has to make the choice. Is he going to stay in the past and stay with his love, the first love of his life, that's Naoki, who is his best friend's girlfriend, or is he going to let go and focus on his future, which is going to be with Midori? And I've heard a lot of great things about Murakami. I cannot wait to read this book. I am keeping my fingers crossed that I love this book. Now, this book was originally written in Japanese and was translated to English by J. Rubin. So yes, I can't wait to read that. And then there's the last prompt, which says read the group book, and that is 1,000 Beginnings and Endings by edited by Ellen O and Elsie Chapman. Now, this is a collection of 15 stories, 15 retellings of Asian legends and myths. Like, you all know, I'm a big mythology fan, I'm a big mythology buff. So every book of mythology, I like to own them because I really do love mythology. And so yes, this is based off of Asian mythology, and it's written by 15 different authors. And it's crazy because like these are like different authors. Like Rene Adier has a story in here, Roshani Chokshi has a story in here, Julie Kagawa has a story in here, Alisa Wong has a story in here, Melissa de la Cruz has a story in here. Like, this is, it's all mythology. It looks perfect and amazing, and I cannot wait to read it. So yes, those are the prompts and those are the books I'm reading for Asian Readathon. Let me know, are you going to be participating in the Asian Readathon? What is your TBR like? Do you have any of those books I'm going to be reading for the Asian Readathon on your TBR? Who knows, maybe we just might be able to buddy read. I don't know. Let me know. I didn't mention it before, but the Readathon is going to take place all month long. I'm going to link Cindy's announcement video down in the bar below, and the resource where there's a list of like different books that fit the different prompts. So you can, if you're worried and do not know which book to pick for what, you can go through that list to see what book you have and that can fit the prompt. So I don't know, check it out. If you like this video, please do not forget to give it a big thumbs up. Check out my other videos, subscribe if you want to. I make new videos every Sundays, Wednesdays and Fridays, and I'll see you soon. Until then, stay passionate, love books, love yourself. Bye. 버럭버럭 소리쳐 나는 현기증 내 심심풀이 화풀이 상된 다른 연인들 괜히